Brews and Views, a podcast where we review movies, give our opinion on what's going on in the world, all while drinking good beer. Crack open a good brew and open your minds for Brews and Views.
Say hey, everybody out there in the intranet land. This is Juan Cordero, the one and only, coming at you with another podcast for December 19th, 2020. How is everybody doing out there in the beloved intranet land? I was going to say, how is everybody doing again? But, whatever. Anyway, did everyone get their Christmas shopping done? Because, there's only like 5 more days of Christmas shopping days left. For all those late shoppers out there, get your shopping in. But guess what? Not me. I'm not buying gifts this year. But, maybe I might buy some gifts, maybe for, my nieces and nephews, nephew, I should say. I think those are the only people I'm possibly gonna get gifts for this year. I don't know. I just don't really feel like, getting gifts for people this year. I don't know. I guess I'm being a little Scrooge-ish this year. I don't know. Yeah, I just, I'm getting to the age that I don't want gifts, and I don't get any on my birthday, so why is it like expected for people to give gifts on Christmas? It's just a day to kind of like stimulate the economy, I guess. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. So why should I give gifts on Christmas? Give gifts on Christmas. I can't even fucking talk. Yeah, like I said, man, I'll probably be getting something for my nephew and my nieces, but I don't expect anything, because if you're 42 years old and, or plus 42 years old, and you are making a list for what you want for Christmas, you are probably most likely one of those people who don't get random gifts during the year from your friends and your family. So yeah. Plus, it's for kids. It's all for kids. The whole Christmas thing. I think because I really don't. We're not going to go down that line. We're going to go down that line. I was about to get into some like religious things and everything. So like, anyway, it's all pretty much a scheme to like, stimulate the economy, whatever. And have some fake like, oh, I care about you and this and that, whatever. Anyway, enough about all that. I have a lot of things that I want to talk about, so I'm trying to get it all in 1 hour. So let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's flip this page and going. I just have to say that I'm really enjoying Billie Eilish's James Bond song, No Time to Die. It is so good. If you sit there and actually listen to it, and not just listen to the song and just like, have it in the background and listen, but just listen to it. If you appreciate music as much as I do, and you appreciate Bond movies like I do, and you kind of have an appreciation for those both, because if you know me and if you've been listening to the podcast, I do a little bit of movie reviews, and I talk about music, I talk about art, and I talk about all different types of things that have to do with arts. So when you get movies and music to come together, I really do believe that Billie Eilish and Phineas did a fucking fantastic job with this song. It has a Bond feel with a twist on, the music of Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas. I mean, it's just amazing. It's a great combo of like, bringing that like old or like that feel of 007 music. Like, what do you if you don't know what I mean about like 007 music, then obviously you haven't watched a lot of Bond movies, because typically they all have this like, it's not a swing, but it's more like it has like a feel to it, like Adele's song, Skyfall. It kind of reminds me of Skyfall a little bit. It just has that lore to it. It has all of the James Bond lore in the song. Great harmonies with the orchestra, great harmonies with herself. Phineas and Billy do a really good job of producing and writing music, and I think the brains are mostly coming through Phineas. and just, adding those great tones from Billie Eilish. It's just a fucking awesome fucking song. And if you haven't heard it, go ahead and go and listen to it. And I don't know. I'm just kind of like in love with Billie Eilish's tone and the way she sings and whatnot, and like just the songs that come out. They're just like, they speak to me. They're good songs. Let's talk about something that isn't so awesome, that has been anticipated for over the past 10 years and didn't get a good launch. We are talking about none other than Cyberpunk 2077. If you're not familiar with it, it's an open world action adventure story set in Night City, a megalopolis obsessed with power, glamour, and body modification. You play as V, a mercenary outlaw going after a one-of-a-kind implant that is the key to immortality. Immorality. Like, I can't read. Anyway, you can customize your character's cyberware, skill set, and playstyle, and explore the vast city where the choices you make shape the story and the world around you. Sounds awesome, right? Well, it had more bugs than Timon and Pumbaa could eat in one sitting. And it just had so many fucking bugs that the older consoles, it's worse than the older consoles. So like PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are not having really good, not having any fucking, it's just a horrible ass game. It glitches. It takes 20 seconds to like refresh. And if you're standing in one place, everything looks fucking amazing. But as soon as you start to like walk or do something, like shit takes forever for it to like catch up with you, and the graphics are still fucking like horrible. So if you're on an older console, you're getting the butt of the glitches, because they really just developed this game and didn't think about how powerful and how big this game was, to like being used or being played on a PS4 or an Xbox One. It's basically a CPU, or like not a CPU thing we're talking about. This is more about like the GPU, the graphics card that is in the console. It just cannot keep up with the graphics that are happening like all over you. But still, it's having issues. And I was talking to a guy at work, and he said he got it for PlayStation 4, and it had 2 discs. It had one disc as a loading disc, which took he said it took 4.5 hours for it to completely download, and then he could actually start playing the game. But when you play the game, it has so many glitches that once you get started, you start seeing everything that a lot of people have been complaining about. But then not too long ago, they just came out with a patch that was 36 gigs large. And so 36 gigs. If you think about it, GTA 5 is 30 gigs. It's around 30, maybe close to 40, I believe. That's a whole fucking new game. The patch is fucking close to a whole new game. So they're patching all these things to try to make it so it's not as buggy anymore. But even after doing the download of the patch, he still is having issues, and it is not as great of a game that it could be. However, players who play it on a PC is getting the best play overall, but it still has bugs, but not like the older consoles are having. So why didn't they develop this game more? Why did they think that since writing it, I'm just reading my notes that I wrote down. So basically, why didn't they develop this game more? Why didn't they take a little bit more time to figure it out and have a version of it for PS4, which I'm not sure if they can actually do that. Can they bring down the graphics and not have so much in it? I'm not a game developer, because I don't know any of this shit. Like, what could they have done to make it, not as glitchy and buggy as it is right now, and to develop it more develop it more so they don't have as much bugs as everyone's having at the moment. Did they think that since right now more people are spending more time at home and indoors because of the COVID things right now, so a lot of people are spending more time inside, and especially the holidays, people are on break, and if you work for a factory or places that shut down during the holidays, then you have that factor. But for 10 years, with a game being in development for over 10 years, what's another year? Seriously, like, what's another year? Why don't we just wait another year and a half and then just put out a game that is not buggy and then works on all platforms the way it needs to be, and have people that test the game out for the bugs and everything and actually release a game that does really well. Whatever may be the cause to the release of a buggy game, it didn't do them any good because a lot of people aren't happy with the game's overall playability. They are now letting people refund the game on PC if you are unhappy. And on both last gen consoles. On December 14th, this past Monday, December 14th, Cyberpunk 2027 said that they will be releasing 2 large patches. Number 1 will be in February, and number 1 will be in January, and February will be the patch 2. These 2 patches will fix most of the issues on last-gen consoles. They also mentioned that last-gen console players won't get the best graphics, however, they will be closer to the experience than it is now. Nonetheless, they fucked up, and they fucked up bad. And let's talk about another thing that I think that they have fucked up really bad, was the MLB. I think the MLB kind of fucked up because if you're into sports and you've always been into baseball or just in sports in general, you've noticed that football has really taken a liking throughout all genders, and women and men alike have really drawn close to football because it's 1 week, it's 1 day, on a Sunday, sometimes on a Monday, sometimes on a Thursdays, and then when we get into the playoffs, sometimes on a Saturday. But like, football at the end, during the Super Bowl isn't like the best out of 7, so like the best of 7 games. So the best 4, whoever wins 4 games first, wins. It's a one shot, one all. That's it. Like, so there's 1 game, 1 time, 1 shot. You got to do it, and you got to go through the playoffs and win all that and stay undefeated and get to the Super Bowl and then win again. So that a lot of people have come to that because it's like, it's quicker, it's faster, it's 1 time. You don't have to like follow a whole bunch of shit and know how the whole series works and blah, 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 whatever. So football has been really popular, and I would say in the past like 15 years, it's gotten really popular and really big and has been making a lot of money. And what I think the MLB should have done, and there's talks about it since in the year 2020, since we have this whole COVID situation, and the MLB had a shortened season of 80 games, they ended up bringing the DH for both the NL and the National League and the American League. But personally, I think that they should continue that throughout the rest of foreverness, because like, who wants to see a pitcher fucking hit? There's been some pitchers that were actually kind of good when it come up to the plate, like Carlos Zambrano. You had some other bigger guys that were really good because they're just big guys, and if they get a hold of a ball, it's gone. But most of the time, you don't want a guy up there potentially getting hit by a ball or being injured if it's like one of your aces or a decent play, a decent like middle relief pitcher or whatever. You don't want them up there possibly getting hit, running, and sprain an ankle or something like that, and then they can't pitch, and then you have to worry about, your pitching rotation. If you don't have anybody in the farm system that can come up, obviously you guys know by listening to me, you can tell I really love baseball, and I love like the whole logistics and like the whole logical sense of it, and like bringing people up from AA and AAA and bringing them into the major leagues and all that jazz, because it's really like a chess game. And like I said, and I said it before, like baseball is life. There's always these different scenarios that you have to, overcome, and every day is not the same day. Every day you go out there is going to be something different. The weather is going to be different. The stadium you play in is going to be different. And all that jazz. I can talk about baseball forever, but anyway, I really think that they should have the DH spot be available for both. Available before. I can't even fucking talk today. Available for both the American League and the National League, which has always been in the National League, but I mean the American League, but bring it to the National League. And here's the thing: people aren't going to baseball games like they used to. So if they just get rid of the pitcher hitting in the National League, it would help the game a lot more. I understand it's a part of baseball that makes it more interesting, and you have to play the teams differently if you're not in the NL. I get it. However, let's save these pitchers' arms and stamina by getting rid of the pitchers hitting in the National League and introduce the DH hitter. Obviously you can tell I read that because the way I talk is a little bit different, but anyway, but what the fuck do I know? I guess we'll still have the pitchers hitting in 2021, but I think in the near future, we will be introducing the DH role for the National League. While we're talking about hitting, let's talk about the second season of The Mandalorian, and it has been amazing, and it has been fucking a home run. Disney has done a fucking amazing job of putting together, Disney's just the platform that it's on. I definitely have to say that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, you can tell that those two guys are actually fucking fans, that they understand the fucking lore of Star Wars. And at first, I thought that was, J.J. Abrams, but, I don't really think it was. I don't know, man. Like, I have mixed feelings about J.J. Abrams now, what he gave us in the beginning. Like, it should have been what we're getting now, Like, all we want to see, all of us original Star Wars fans, all we want to see is our heroes being heroic. That's all we want to see. We want our heroes to do what they do, is be heroes. And when you start to fuck with the lore and mess with all this other shit that's happening with the Star Wars, and I've probably said this before many times, that 7, 8, and 9, episodes 7, 8, and 9 are not what I expected the Star Wars to be. I didn't expect that to be how the Skywalker saga would end. Sorry, I was reaching for my phone because I wanted to read you something. It's just not what I expected, the end of the Skywalker saga to be. I really wanted it to be something more, something that like, I wanted it to be more, and it wasn't. And I don't know where I was going with this, but what Dave and Jon Favreau have been doing is utterly fucking awesome. Like, I posted this picture of Dave Filoni, Grogu, Jon Favreau, and then right above them in the middle is like this dove with George Lucas's head, and I called it the Star Wars Trinity. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, dude, they're the guys who are bringing Star Wars back and making it so much more fucking pleasurable than what 789 has been. But this is a post I posted the other day. Let's just get this. This is as after watching the season 2 finale that just came out this past Friday. Which when I'm recording this was yesterday, because today is Saturday the 18th. No, the 19th. And I watched it when I first woke up in the morning. And this is my reaction or my post right after watching it. It is spoiler free, but after I read this, I'm going to talk a little bit more about Star Wars, and then we're going to get into some spoilers. So, for all you people out there who haven't seen the season finale of The Mandalorian, after I read this, go ahead and shut it off. Go watch the binge watch all of The Mandalorian if you haven't seen it yet, and then continue listening to this podcast, or just don't listen to it at all. Anyway, let's just get right down to it. Jon Favreau needs to take Kathleen Kennedy's job. Yes, I said it. He needs to take Kathleen Kennedy's job. John and Dave Filoni has done more in 16 30-minute episodes than Kathleen has done with Star Wars in 7, 8, and 9. The season finale of The Mandalorian was absolutely epic. At first, I was upset with the episodes of them being so short. However, now I embrace them because I know I'm going to get the best 30 to 35 minutes of Star Wars John and Dave can give me. I'll take that any day than a watered down hour. I'm going to keep this spoiler free. However, I will say it made me cry tears of joy because this is what Star Wars 789 should have been. I love all the episodes for what they are, but come on, 789 were not what I expected out of the end of the Skywalker saga. Anyway, what a beautiful chapter. I can't wait until next Christmas to see what Mando, Grogu, and friends are up to. But what do I know? I'm just a guy who loves Star Wars. Yeah, it was fucking amazing. And again, like I said, if you haven't seen the Mandalorian, the final episode of season 7, go ahead and shut this off right now. I'm giving you 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're in spoiler world now. So if you're still listening, you are a fucking rebel and you don't give a shit. You just want to hear what fucking happens. I'm going to tell you about the things that I saw throughout the finale. Okay, number 1, we see Bo-Katan ship the gauntlet in live action. Most likely CG. I'm pretty sure they didn't fucking make that from the ground up. But still pretty fucking cool. We see an emotional conversation between Bo-Katan and Boba that leads to a fight with Kosha Reeves. 3, Bo-Katan, Cara Dune, Fennec Shan, Kosha Reeves hold their own, and I wouldn't mind seeing this group of women kick more ass. Now, this is girl power. And I've said this before in past episodes where like they try to bring like this like girl power issue, or like not issue, but like thing to the forefront where like Rey is like you know, like the social like rebel and shit like that, or like women need to be more powerful. This right here, the scene right here, that shows women in power because they were just kicking fucking ass, dude. Kicking ass. Oh, Mando fighting a dark trooper and his Beskar showing how strong it is. Because there was this part where just like fucking this dark trooper just got a hold of him and just kept like hitting him in his face, and his helmet just dish, 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 and the fucking helmet was just holding every fucking punch and not bending at all, but the wall behind him was fucking bending, and it just shows that how strong fucking Beskar is, and there is nothing stronger than fucking Beskar. I wonder, like, let's do like, I know this is crossing worlds here, but like one of the strongest metals right now. We're talking about Beskar is pretty strong. How about antimonium? Is that what it's called? The shit that's in Wolverine. Or how about what's the other one? What Cap's shield's made out of? Vibranium. What is the strongest one? Another episode we'll talk about what could be, or what I think is the strongest metal in these universes. All right, number 5. My theory on why Moff Gideon wants Grogu's blood so bad is that they may be trying to bring someone back to. Ooh, yeah. I was thinking about this because while I was watching it, and how, like, when we see in episode 9 how Palpatine comes back, or maybe it could be like they're trying to revive maybe even Darth Maul. We could get Darth Maul back, or we could get Darth Vader back, or we could get Palpatine back, or even Dooku, or even like anybody that's dead. We can use that blood and probably clone another Sith Lord or something like that. So that's my theory on what I think, and why he wants the blood so bad. Because at first I thought it was going to be for the Dark Troopers, because if you know a little bit about the Dark Troopers, it was a suit, and then it was like Cyborg, which was like half a robot, half human, but they took all the elements of a human out of it and just made it a completely droid. It's a droid. In the Mandalorian, it is a droid. There's no human element in it at all, and it's a completely 100% droid. So the only other thing that I think that why Moff Gideon wants why he wants Grogu's blood is to either create a new clone trooper, or bring somebody back to life. I don't know. That's just my theory. Anyway, number 6. Here we go. Like, again, if you're still listening and you're like, oh, this is not fucking spoiler enough, this is where the fanboy in me is going to go fucking crazy. But before we do that, let's talk about some other podcasts that you can listen to. Every Thursday, you can listen to the 3 Crafty Bastards, Brandon Smith, aka B, and Marlon Riley, also known as Mr. Classic, brought to you by Unique Beats, and myself, because I record them, but haven't been able to here in the past month or so, probably about 3 months now, because my 90 days is coming up at Sweetwater. I haven't been able to record them because I work second shift, and I can't really do it because I'm at work. So unless we can figure out something where we can do it in a half hour on my lunch break, let's do it. But anyway, listen to 3 Crafty Bastards every Thursday. Right now, you can catch, I think, like 8 episodes up on Spotify. But you can also catch them on Facebook, and it's 3 Crafty Bastards, just, 3 Crafty and Bastards. Every Thursday, you'll have something. You'll have either a beer review from B. Smith himself, or you'll have the combination, collation of both Brandon and Mr. Riley, Mr. Classic, doing an hour show, giving you things that they like to talk about. Beer, movies, subjects, topics, tabooness, whatever you want to hear. That's what's happening at 3 Crafty Bastards. Another podcast that you should definitely fucking listen to is the Pull Up and Pour Up podcast by I forgot his name. I'm over here, Leo Mills. I'm over here trying to promote a podcast, and I forget these dudes' names. But the Pull Up and Pour Up podcast episodes drop every Monday around noon. It is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere you listen to your podcast. Just 2 best friends just fucking talking like they're just hanging out every day and drinking a little bit of drank, and just telling it how it is. So once again, listen to Three Crafty Bastards every Thursday, either on Spotify or you can watch them on Facebook. And last but not least, the Pull Up and Pour Up podcast by Leo Mills and his best friend, which I forgot. I am so sorry, homie. I forgot your name. But you can definitely listen to them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you listen to your podcast. So back to what we were just talking about. The best part of the whole fucking episode was you see these dark troopers and they're like Mando, Moff Gideon, Cara Dune, what's her name, and they're all trapped in this bridge, and the blast doors are down, and there's like maybe 12, maybe 6-8 dark troopers, and they're just punching at the wall. They're just continuously punching at the wall, and Moff Gideon just has a grin from ear to ear because he knows, like, he even says, he's like, here in a few minutes everyone in this room is going to be dead except for me and the child. And then moments after that, we see this X-Wing fly by, and Cara Dune goes, "Oh, just one X-Wing? Okay." And at first, when I saw that X-Wing, I thought, okay, Rangers, the Republic, the police guys, basically of the galaxy. But and then all of a sudden, I kept watching. And we see like a surveillance video, and Bo-Katan goes up to it and says, "Unidentified pilot, please identify yourself," and doesn't say anything. And I'm just like, all right, a Ranger would have said something, and all of a sudden I was just like, we're getting Luke, right? We're getting Luke. And so we see this silhouette of a man in a brown cloak, and the first thing we see is this green lightsaber, and you see this glove that he has on, and then the camera pans down a little bit, and you see the hilt, and it's the hilt, and I can't unsee this hilt because I have it tattooed on me. And the lightsaber that was used to defeat Darth Vader, aka Anakin Skywalker. It's none other than Luke Skywalker. And then you see that lightsaber glow green, and dude, I just started to fucking cry because this is all we wanted. This is all Star Wars fans wanted, was our heroes to be heroic and to see Luke Skywalker come and save the day, because that's basically what Star Wars is. It's this takes place 5 years after the fall of the Republic and of the Empire, I should say. And what's going on next? We want to see where Luke Skywalker has been and what's he been up to. And we definitely get to see Luke Skywalker. And then when he comes out of that hangar, it was the same. It's a mirror image of what his father Darth Vader did in Rogue One. And then he commences to fucking like go out there and just whoop all these fucking dark troopers' ass, and it's fucking amazing. You can see different styles of saber using that he does. You can see like he's doing like the behind the back, like he was like deflecting like blasters with the behind the back saber block, and then using force pushes and force pulls, and then one move that is really not like used. You can't use it. It's forbidden to use unless you're using it against like a non-living thing or a droid. You can use this force crunch, and Luke uses this force crunch, and like I knew what he was doing because he was like shaking his hand, and I made the same fucking gesture and just fucking crunched my hand, and he did it at the same time, and I was just like fucking bawling when this shit was happening, and I'm just screaming, yes, fucking Luke Skywalker. And then we get to where Luke is at, and no, we get to the bridge where, you know, Mando and the child is at, and Bo-Katan and all the friends are there. And he opens up the door, and, you know, he says, "I'm here for him." And then Grogu looks over at Din, and he's like, he doesn't know what to say. And then Mando says he doesn't want to go with you. And then Luke says to him, he wants your permission. And then I'm getting like kind of choked up thinking about this, because this part is like fucking beautiful. Like he's holding Grogu, and Grogu is like looking at him, and then Mando goes, go with him, don't be afraid. And then Grogu like puts out his hand and tries to touch his face, and it's like you know, because it's sentimental, like they've been together for a while now, you know. And he like puts his hand out. Now this mirrors the same part in the last movie of the original trilogy, when Vader asked Luke to help him take off his helmet. So it's poetic, it's beautiful, and then this is a part, you know, Din takes off his helmet, and then Grogu reaches out and touches his face, and you can see Mando's face, and his eyes start to tear up a little bit, and so were mine. And it was fucking beautiful. It was poetic, and it was what all Star Wars fans are talking about right now. And this is all we fucking wanted. And then the end scene. Before I get to the end scene, is the part where Grogu, Mando puts Grogu down, and then Grogu starts to waddle over to Luke, and Grogu's right in front of R2-D2. Here comes R2-D2, and I fucking lost it there, because if you know me, I love fucking R2. R2's my guy. R2's my droid, and he walks up to him, and then R2 recognizes him, because Yoda looks just like him. He looks just like Yoda. He recognizes him, and he starts to like shake, and then happiness. He starts to chirp, meep, 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 beep, beep, beep. And it's just amazing. I just love it. And then the end scene, you see R2-D2 next to Luke holding Grogu, and then end scene. So fucking amazing. I just have to say, to like, I said to a guy at work the other day, like, I want to give Jon Favreau and fucking Dave Filoni like a big fucking man hug, like both of them. Like, let's get a group hug, man. I mean, I might even come in and try to like grope your booty, man, because dude, I love both of you guys, because you guys have rejuvenated Star Wars. It's fucking amazing. You guys are fucking amazing. Thank you so much, man, for you guys for, you know, giving us these stories, and you know, keeping the Star Wars lore still alive. Thank you guys. But you know, with The Mandalorian being so successful, it has spawned off a whole other world of Star Wars. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are currently developing 2 spin-off shows. Number 1, Rangers of the New Republic. And we've already heard about this one, the beloved character Ahsoka. Both of these shows are going to be in the setting and timeline of The Mandalorian. So we'll probably get a little bit of like, you know, crossovers here, which would be fucking amazing. So going forward, they're creating this own little universe, and they're going to start doing like, it would be smart that they do crossovers, like the New Republic, you know, we'll have some Mando in it, and maybe Ahsoka will come in a couple episodes into the New Republic, the Rangers of the New Republic, and then Ahsoka will be in the Mando, and Mando will be in each of those. I think that would be amazing. That's just great fucking writing, great ideas, a great way to keep these characters alive, and a great way to keep people watching all this new content that Disney's coming out for Star Wars. And then in 2021, the next chapter of The Mandalorian Season 3 will come to us in Christmas of 2021, instead of coming to us like in what is it, November? No, it was October when The Mandalorian started Season 3. So next year, we're going to have to wait all the way until Christmas. So Christmas is not even here yet. So it's like a good year until we get another Mandalorian season. Not sure when in December of 2021 this is going to take place, but we get the Book of Boba Fett. At the end of the season finale of The Mandalorian, if you watch the credits, funny story is like, at work every day at 3:00 when our shift starts, at 3:00 we have a meeting and we all stand around like a pack station or whatever, and they give us the announcements of what's going on for the day and things that we need to know about, and then after that we do some stretches. And while I was doing my stretches, one of the leads looked straight at me, and he's a Star Wars fan as well. He looked straight at me and he was like, and he like whispered, he like mouthed to me, "After the meeting, we need to talk," you know? And I was like, "I know." And I like kind of did the two, like pointing at my two eyeballs with my two fingers and looking at him like, "Yep, I got you." And, you know, immediately after that, him and I started talking, you know, walking to my exceptions table. And he was like, "Dude," and I was like, "Yeah, I know, man. Fucking shit is amazing." And just went over all the things that I saw and what he saw, and then he goes, "Dude, did you see the end credits?" I go, "Dude, there was end credits." He was like, "Fuck, dude, are you kidding me? You didn't see it?" And I was like, "You got to be fucking joking me. There was a fucking end credit scene." And he was like, "Yeah, dude, it's like 2 minutes long. You need to watch it. I'm leaving you right now. Go watch it, and then I'll come back and come talk to you." It was fucking awesome. We see Boba Fett go to the land of the underworld, and what's his name? Big fat motherfucker. Man, how I always do this. I forget people's fucking names. Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt is, you know, he's dead because he got strangled by Leia. But that dude with like the tentacle fucking face, you know. Anyway, he's there and he's on the throne, and what's the name comes down. Her like the dude that Boba Fennec Shand. She comes down the steps and shoots a couple people, and then Mando comes right into him. And then Mando comes right behind her and starts walking towards that dude. I forget what the fuck his name is, and just shoots him, and then throws him off the fucking chair, and he gets on it. And it's like, yes, the king. The king has his throne. So now the Book of Boba Fett is going to be in December of 2021. So now we're going to have Rangers of the New Republic, Ahsoka, Mandalorian, and the Book of Boba Fett. We're going to have all these three, and I'm pretty sure the Book of Boba Fett is probably going to take place around the Mandalorian timeline, obviously, because Boba Fett comes back during the Mandalorian, so it's going to take place in that time. So we're going to have a lot of crossover going on here, and just the way it ended with Mando having the Darksaber, and knowing that you have to be in a battle and someone has to lose for them to give them the Darksaber so they can be the actual ruler over Mandalore, which I thought was a little weird, because and it was almost like Moff Gideon, when he said that, it was like almost like he's implying that someone had to die, but Moff Gideon didn't die. And Moff Gideon told Mando, he's like, "The sword is yours now because you defeated me." And he was like, "Well, it belongs to her, so she needs to take the sword. He goes, no, the sword will know, and you need to win it in battle. He was like, so he's implying almost like someone needs to die, but Moff Gideon didn't die, so why can't they just like fucking have like a fight and then fucking just whatever, and then would the sword know that you were fucking like, you know, taking back, like pulling your punches or whatever? I don't know. Anyway, but I really can't wait to see what comes next out of all these shows, because, man, I'm a fucking Star Wars fan, and I can't wait to see what happens with those. Also in 2022, a spy thriller from the writer of the Jason Bourne series, Tony Gilroy. Tony Gilroy is going to be doing Andor, where we follow Cassian Andor before the events of Rogue One. Obi-Wan Kenobi, which we knew was going to happen in back in August during the D23. Obi-Wan Kenobi takes place 10 years after the Revenge of the Sith, when he lost his best friend and apprentice Anakin Skywalker when he becomes the evil Sith Lord Darth Vader. Ewan McGregor will return as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Hayden Christensen, yes, I said Hayden Christensen, will return as Darth Vader, and will be directed by Deborah Chow, and filming will start in early March of 2021. Also, with the success of the Clone Wars in Season 7 and favorites, The Bad Batch will return with their own animated series. Not really, they didn't show like when it was going to release or if it was in development already or not. But we will hear here in the next future when that will come out. Also, they're going to have a Star Wars Vision. It's going to be a 10-episode Japanime or anime coming soon, which I've seen little bits and pieces of it, and it looks fucking awesome. I'm not sure when this comes out, but they're going to be doing a Lando TV series, and if they get Childish Gambino to play Lando, when is the timeline and all that jazz, we just don't know yet, because the guy who actually does play Lando, what's his name? I forget his real name, but he's still alive. Do we do an old Lando from now, or do we do a young Lando? I guess we'll find out here in the near future. And then this other TV series called The Acolyte. It's a series about the final days of the Republic. Sounds interesting. A droid story. R2-D2 and C-3PO join a new droid in a special mission. This sounds like it's going to be, geared towards kids. And why not? Shit, I'll watch it. I'll watch anything. Anyway, I always fuck Taika? Yeah, Taika Waititi is writing a new Star Wars movie, like something totally fucking brand new, and it's coming from the mind and in the artiste of Taika Waititi, or Taika Waititi. I always fuck his name up. He directed a few episodes of The Mandalorian Season 1, and I think he did one in Season 2. Don't quote me, but I think I'm wrong on Season 2. But definitely Season 1, he did do one. So he's going to be writing a Star Wars movie, and I think he's going to be directing it as well. And then to end in 2023, Rogue Squadron will be directed by Patty Jenkins, and that is going to release in 2023. Man, I actually flew through all of that information. I was like, dude, man, I got a whole bunch of shit here, and I just kind of flew through it all. But I did a really good job. I got through it, and I had some topics that I wasn't going to talk about because I didn't think I was going to be able to get all of this in time, but I'm here and I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and I haven't done a beer review in a long fucking time, so I'm going to give you a new beer review that I just had. This new beer that I picked up last night, actually, from Terrapin Beer Company. It's a chocolate milk stout called Moohoo. I'm really enjoying this milk stout, chocolate milk stout by Terrapin Beer Company from Athens, Georgia. Moohoo, brewed with lactose sugar and cocoa, has an amazing start and even better finish. Reminds me of my childhood drinking Yoo-Hoos. Well, I'm just a big kid, so nothing has really changed. But yeah, I said, well, I'm just a big kid and nothing has really changed but the alcohol content. But what do I know? I'm just a guy who loves drinking beer. It's fucking amazing. It tastes like a fucking Yoo-Hoo. And if you know me, I'm a stout and porter fan, and we're in the stout and porter season right now. So all the good stouts and porters are gonna be rolling out here very soon. What else? What else? Oh yes. Every time this comes around, I always share it. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Today was Maurice White's birthday, and happy birthday to Maurice White. You are a legend. You will never be forgotten, but you are definitely fucking missed. Because I'd still love me some Earth, Wind, and Fire. I actually got to see Earth, Wind, and Fire when Maurice White was still with them, and it was fucking epic. You know who was at that concert? It was Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Eagles. I got this, no, not Eagles, Chicago. I got to see Chicago. So if you know a little bit about the Eagles in Chicago, Chicago wrote a lot of the Eagles, of the Earth, Wind, and Fire songs, and Earth, Wind, and Fire did a lot of the music for Chicago. Because Chicago kind of has like this same setup, but they're all white. And then Earth, Wind, and Fire has pretty much the same setup as like Chicago, being the instruments and everything that they play. They have like, saxophone and trumpet and, the same synthesizers and bass and guitar and drums and everything. So they kind of have the same setup. So it's easy for them to like coexist with each other. And it was fucking awesome because I still remember this concert like it was yesterday. We drove all the way down to Indy, and it was fucking beautiful. It was in August. It was around my birthday, and a buddy of mine got me tickets to it because it was my birthday, and we went down, and it was fucking beautiful. And then till right before the show started, you see this huge ass fucking cloud full of darkness, and we're like, that is a rain cloud. And then all of a sudden we're sitting there and it just fucking just pours down on us. It pours down on us so bad that I'm like sticking to my clothes. Like I am so wet that, that part with like, if you've ever been like dumped into a big fat of water where, you're just so fucking sticky that your clothes stick to you, like it was like that. And there was another time where I got rained on really bad at a concert, and there was Fish in Chicago, at Northerly Island, and I think those raindrops hurt when they were coming down from the sky. They kicked my fucking ass, but I still remember to this day, it just rained so hard, and we just sat there like troopers. We're just like, there's nowhere to go. Because if you've ever been in Deer Creek before, there's literally nowhere to go for cover. There's like no trees, no cover, no nothing, unless you are like under the pavilion. And then the spot where we were standing at was the mid top of the lawn, and there you can go behind you, go to the top of the lawn, and then take the stairs down. But seriously, it's open. There's nowhere to go unless you go to the bathrooms, and probably people already thought about doing that, so the bathrooms are just going to be crowded and hot. And so we're just like, we're here. we're going to ride this out. And then Earth, Wind, and Fire and both Chicago came out, and they were like, "Hey, thanks guys for sticking around. We're gonna try to play you guys some music, but since it's gonna be a little bit shortened of a set, what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip a coin, and we're both gonna pick heads or tails, and then whoever wins, they'll go first, and then they'll play the last of they'll play the other half of the set, and it was fucking amazing. Earth, Wind, and Fire went on first, and Chicago just elected to stay on stage, and it was Earth, Wind, and Fire infused with Chicago, and it was fucking amazing. It was just absolutely amazing. Like, double the horns, double the bass, double the guitar, double the drums. It was just absolutely fucking amazing. And it was just one of those where, like, these artists were like, hey, these guys came to see us and let's put on a show. And they did a fucking amazing job. And then luckily, the day just got hotter, and the sun came out, the clouds just split up, and we just ended up having a fucking funky old time, man. And my clothes dried out. It was just a fucking amazing time. I really had a great time at that show, and that was like my one and only Earth, Wind, and Fire show. And it was the Earth, Wind, and Fire show that I think, like, not too long ago after that, Maurice White died. So rest in peace, Maurice White. Like I said, you will never be forgotten, but you will always be missed. What else? What else is going on? When I get on the topic, man, I can fucking ramble, bro. I think that's good. You think that's good? Yeah, I got a new tattoo the other day, but I ain't gonna get too much in it because I've been drinking a lot of water lately, and I just had 2 beers, two of those Moohoos, and I really have to piss, and I have to edit this, put the ending on it, and air it to Spreaker so it can go on all the other places to listen to so you guys can listen to it. But anyway, I guess that's all the time I have here on Brews and Views. Like I said, make sure you listen to 3 Crafty Bastards every Thursday on Facebook. You can catch about 8 of their episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Also, while you're listening to podcasts and you want to listen to something else, listen to the Pull Up and Pour Up podcast by Leo Mills. Also, you can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Hey, folks, you guys have a great day. Have an awesome evening, afternoon, whatever it is. Be nice, be kind, be better. Peace. Thanks for tuning in and listening to me ramble at lengths about things I have no business talking about. Download Brews and Views to your favorite devices at Apple Podcast and Spotify. This is Juan Cordero, the one and only, saying cheers. Until next time.